So we're going to read Chapter 2 of Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. Now you're probably wondering about the beginning of the previous chapter, with its reference to evil librarians, altars made from encyclopedias, and its general feeling of, oh no, Alcatraz is going to be sacrificed. Before we get to this, let me explain something about myself. I've been many things in my life: student, spy, sacrifice, potted plant. However, at this point, I'm something completely different from all of those. Something more frightening than any of them. I'm a writer. You may have noticed that I began my story with a quick, snappy scene of danger and tension, but then quickly moved on to a more boring discussion of my childhood. Well, that's because I wanted to prove something to you. That I am not a nice person. Would a nice person begin with such an exciting scene, then make you wait almost the entire book to read about it? Would a nice person write a book that exposes the true nature of the world to all of you ignorant hushlanders, thereby forcing your lives into chaos? Would a nice person write a book that proves that Alcatraz Medri, the Free Kingdom's greatest hero, was just a mean-spirited adolescent? Of course not. I woke grumpily that next morning, annoyed by the sound of someone banging on my downstairs door. I climbed out of bed, then threw on a bathrobe. Though the clock read 10 a.m., I was still tired. I had stayed up late, lost in thought. Then Joan and Roy had tried to say goodbye. I hadn't opened my door to them. Better to get things over without all that gushing. No, I was not happy to be reawoken at 10 a.m., or actually any a.m. I yawned, walking downstairs and pulling open the door, prepared to meet whichever assistant Miss Fletcher had sent to retrieve me. Hell, I said. I hadn't intended to swear, but a boisterous voice cut me off where I could get to the O. Alcatraz, my boy, the man at the door exclaimed. Happy birthday. Oh, I said. You shouldn't swear, my boy, the man said, pushing his way into the house. He was an older man who was dressed in a sharp black tuxedo and wore a strange pair of red-tinted glasses. He was quite bald, save for a small bit of white hair running around the back of his head, and this puffed out in an unkempt fashion. He wore a similarly bushy white mustache, and he smiled quite broadly as he turned to me. His face wrinkled, but his eyes alight with excitement. Well, my boy, he said, how does it feel to be 13? The same as it did yesterday, I said, yawning, when it was actually my birthday. Miss Fletcher must have told you the wrong date. I'm not packed yet. You're going to have to wait. I tartly began to walk down toward the stairs. Wait, the old man said. Your birthday was yesterday. I nodded. I'd never met the man before, but Miss Fletcher had several assistants. I didn't know them all. Rumbling wrongs, the man explained. I'm late. No, I said, climbing the stairs. Actually, you're early. As I said, you'll need to wait. The old man rushed up the stairs behind me. I turned, frowning. You can wait downstairs. Quickly, boy, the old man said. I can't wait. Soon you'll be getting a package in the mail in. Stop. You know about the package? Of course I do. Of course I do. Don't tell me it already came. I nodded. Blistering Brooks, the old man exclaimed. Where, lad? Where is it? I frowned. Did Miss Fletcher send it? Miss Fletcher? Never heard of her. Your parents sent that box, my boy. He's never heard of her. I thought, realizing that I'd never verified the man's identity. Great, I've let a lunatic into the house. Oh, blast, the old man said, reaching into his suit pocket and pulling out a pair of yellow-tinted glasses. He quickly exchanged the light red ones, for those, then looked around. There, he said, rushing up the stairs, pushing past me. Hey, I called, but he didn't stop. I muttered quietly to myself, following. The old man was surprisingly spry for his age, and he reached the door to my room in just a few heartbeats. Is this your room, my boy? The old man asked. Lots of footprints leading here. What happened to the doorknob? It fell off. My first night in the house. How odd, the old man said, pushing the door open. Now, where's that box? Look, I said, pausing in the doorway. You have to leave. If you don't, I'm going to call the police. The police? Why would you do that? Because you're in my house, I said. Well, my ex-house, at least. But you let me in, lad, the old man pointed out. I was, well, now I'm telling you to leave. But why? Don't you recognize me, my boy? I raised an eyebrow. I'm your grandfather, lad. Grandpa Smedry. Leavenworth Smedry, oculator dramatist. Don't tell me you don't remember me. I was there when you were born. I blinked, then frowned, then cocked my head to the side. You were there? Yes, the old man said. 13 years ago. You haven't seen me since, of course. And I'm supposed to remember you, I said. Well, certainly. We have excellent memories. We Smithers. Now about that box. Grandfather. The man had to be lying, of course. I don't even have parents. Why would I have a grandfather? Now looking back, I realize that this was a silly thought. Everybody has a grandfather. Two of them, actually. Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist. In that way, grandfathers are kind of like kangaroos. And at any rate, I will certainly should have called the police on this elderly intruder. He has been the main source of all my problems ever since. Unfortunately, I didn't throw him out. Instead, I just watched him put away his yellow-tinted spectacles, retrieving the reddish-tinted ones again. Then, he finally spotted the box on my dresser, scribbled on brown paper, still sitting beside it. The old man rushed over eagerly. Did he send it? I wondered. He reached into the box, taking out the note with an oddly reverent touch. He read it, smiling fondly, then looked up at me. So, where is it, Grandpa Smedley? Or whoever he really was asked. Where is what? The inheritance, lad. In the box, I said, pointing at the baggage. There isn't anything in here but the note. What? I said, walking over. Indeed, the box was empty. The bag of sand was gone. What did you do with it? I asked. With what? The bag of sand, I said. The old man breathed out and on. So it really came. His eyes wide. There was actually a bag of sand in this box? I nodded slowly. What color was the sand, lad? Sandy? Galloping camels. Camels, he explained. I'm too late. They must have gotten here before me. Quickly, lad. Who's been in this room since you received the box? Nobody, I said. But at this point, as you can imagine, I was growing a little frustrated and increasingly confused. Not to mention hungry and still a bit tired and a little sore from gym class the previous week. But that isn't exactly all that relevant, is it? Nobody, the old man responded. I repeated. Nobody else has been in this room? Nobody, I snapped. Nobody at all. Except, I frowned, except Miss Fletcher. Who is this Miss Fletcher you keep mentioning, lad? I shrugged, my caseworker. What does she look like? Glasses, I said, snobbish face, usually has her hair in a bun. The glasses, Grandpa Smedley said slowly. Did they have horn rims? Usually. Hyperventilating Hobbs, he exclaimed. A librarian. Quickly, lad, we have to go. Get dressed. I'll go steal some food from your foster parents. Wait, I said, but the old man had already scrambled from the room, moving with a sudden urgency. I stood dumbfounded. Miss Fletcher, I thought. Take the inheritance? That's stupid. Why would she want a silly bag of sand? I shook my head, uncertain what to make of all this. Finally, I just walked over to my dresser. Getting dressed, at least, seemed like a good idea. I threw on a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and my favorite green jacket. As I finished, Grandpa Smedley rushed back into my bedroom, carrying two of Roy's extra briefcases. I noticed a leaf of lettuce sticking halfway out of one, while the other seemed to be leaking a bit of ketchup. Hey, Grandpa Smedley said, handing me the lettuce briefcase. I packed us lunches. No telling how long it will be before we can stop for food. I raised the briefcase, frowning. You packed lunches inside of briefcases? They look less suspicious that way. We had to fit in. Now let's get moving. The librarians could already be working on that sand. So, I said. So, the old man exclaimed. Lad, with those sands, the librarians could destroy kingdoms, over their cultures, dominate the world. We need to get them back. We'll have to strike quickly and possibly at great peril to our lives, but that's the Smedley way. I loaded the briefcase. If you say so. Before we leave, I need to know what our resources are. What's your talent, lad? I frowned. Talent? Yes, Grandpa Smedley said. Every Smedley has a talent. What is yours? Playing the oboe? This is no time for jokes, lad, Grandpa Smedley said. This is serious. If we don't get that sand back, well, I said, sighing, I'm pretty good at breaking things. Grandpa Smedley froze. Maybe I shouldn't play with the old man, I thought. Feeling guilty. He may be a loon, but that's no reason to make fun of him. Breaking things? Grandpa Smedley said, sounding odd. So it's true. Why such a talent hasn't been seen in centuries? Look, I said, raising my hands. I was just joking around. I didn't mean... I knew it, Grandpa Smedley said eagerly. Yes, yes. This improves our chances. Come, lad. We have to get moving. He turned and left the room again, carrying his briefcase and rushing eagerly down the stairs. Wait, I cried, chasing after the old man. However, when I reached the doorway, I paused. There was a car parked on the curb outside. An old car. Now, when you read the word old car, you likely think of a beat-up old rusty vehicle that barely runs. A car that is old, kind of in the same way that cassette tapes are old. This is not such a car. It was not old like cassette tapes are old. It was even old like records are old. No, this car was old like Beethoven is old, or at least so it seemed to me, and likely to most of you living in the Hushlands. Car looked like an antique, kind of like a Model T. but that was just my assumption. The point is that many times, the first thing a person presumes about something or someone is inaccurate, or at the very least, incomplete. Take the young Alcatraz Medri, for instance. After reading my story up to this point, you have probably made some assumptions. Perhaps you, despite my best efforts, feeling a bit of sympathy for me. After all, orphans usually make very sympathetic heroes. Perhaps you think that my habit of using sarcasm is simply a method of hiding my insecurity. Perhaps you've decided that I wasn't a cruel boy is a very confused one. Perhaps you decided, despite my feigned indifference, I didn't like breaking things. Obviously, you are a person of very poor judgment. I would ask you to kindly refrain from drawing conclusions that I don't explicitly tell you to make. That's a very bad habit, and it makes authors grumpy. I was none of those things. I was simply a mean boy who didn't really care whether or not he burned down kitchens, and that mean boy was the one who stood on the doorsteps watching Grandpa Smedry, waving eagerly for him to follow. Now, perhaps I'll admit that I felt just a little bit of longing, a wishfulness, you might say. Getting a package that claimed to be for my parents had made me remember days long ago before I realized how foolish I was being. When I had yearned to know my real parents, days when I had longed to find someone who had to love me, if only because they were related to me. Fortunately, I had outgrown those feelings. My moment of weakness passed quickly, and I slammed the door closed and locked the old man outside. Then I went to the kitchen to get some breakfast. That, however, was when someone drew a gun on me. End of chapter 3 of Alcatraz. Chapter 2, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. See you next time.